What's going on, Sam?
Connor, my man, how you be doing?
Good.
Are you?
Cold day.
Yes. Are you keeping warm?
Sorta.
Sorta. Yeah. For those that aren't aware, in the state of Wisconsin where we're living right now, we are in a bit of a cold snap right now. I think high today was about -11.
Yep. -11. That was the high.
The high.
Tomorrow at 8 a.m., I just Googled weather, and it's supposed to be negative 28 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, whether or not you have any big plans for tomorrow, there's some big stuff coming up this weekend. If you're not aware, it is the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 53.
I just really wanted to sneak in that weather pun, but
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, listeners. Yeah, I know it's the Super Bowl. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. People are, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people I've spoken to and people on the internet in general are kind of upset that the Patriots are going again. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. We sort of I think talked about it the other week where, you know, it might not be the most exciting thing to look forward to as an event happening this Sunday, but as an event that's happening, you know, in the grand scheme of everything that's happened over the last, you know, decade plus, it's interesting seeing the twilight here of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's tenure in the NFL, you know, knock on wood. And it's interesting watching these games happen because we know that they're going to be written down in history for, you know, years and years to come after this game happens. The run that they've had, 13, I think, AFC championships in the last 15 years, is something that just hasn't happened before in the NFL. That kind of dominance is unprecedented and probably won't happen again. Just given the circumstances, like Tom Brady has been playing forever at an elite level. Bill Belichick has been coaching at an elite level for forever. Tom Brady also has a wife that's like a billionaire, so he's playing as like the 16th ranked quarterback in terms of salary.
That to me is mind-boggling that he's like he has a median NFL quarterback contract. That's still a ton of money, and he's not the breadwinner in his household.
Right. Yeah.
Albeit he does have, I don't know how much money he gets from whatever endorsements he does, or, you know, whatever, TB12, all that stuff. Notwithstanding, I mean, yeah, money's not an issue.
No doubt, and he could care less about money. I mean, he's expressed it over and over again that what he wants to do is win the Super Bowl as many goddamn times as he physically can. And he's been pretty successful at it. He's going for number 6.
Yeah, and this has all been done. I don't know when free agency, what your free agency began in the NFL, but it happened in the mid-90s, and I mean, like you're saying, this is unprecedented for this level of success for this long of a period of time. Going back to 2001 is, you know, getting close to 20 years that they've been great. I mean, that's never happened, and it probably never happened again in the salary cap era. It never happened really in the history of the NFL before salary cap era, when it's easier to retain your players for their entire career. I don't know, maybe the Packers in the late 50s, early 60s, maybe. That's about a decade. That's probably not as sustained, and that was, I mean, yeah, it's 50 years ago. Almost 60 years ago already. So, yeah, absolutely unprecedented. And that's one thing where, yeah, I get it, where there's Patriot fatigue amongst people, you know, NFL consumers. But at what point, at some point, you got to look at it and realize that you're a witness to history. And, yeah, I think I mentioned this last week, where these are going to be the time where you can say, yeah, I was alive and got to watch the 10 Super Bowls that Tom Brady played in, and that was the greatest player ever, and yada, yada. And we can do Tom Brady versus Trevor Lawrence GOAT debates or whatever.
Yeah. No doubt, and I mean, there's always going to be room to debate who is the greatest of all time and in whatever position. But like you said, I mean, this franchise as a whole, I think is going to be looked back at one of those historic franchises like the Niners or the Dolphins or the Packers way back in the day.
Steelers.
The Steelers. Like all those franchises have rich history with their respective ages, notable stars that were on those teams. And yeah, like it's cool to see this kind of stuff happening before our very eyes because it's something that in 10 years is, as much as we all think that Tom Brady is going to be a robot in 10 years and still slinging the rock, he's going to be done. He has to be done. A broken clock is correct twice a day. And people who keep saying he's going to retire, it's
a good phrase you got
it's
there.
I thought it was a good one. I think I've heard it before with mentions of Tom Brady's retirement. He's going to retire at some point. People are going to be right. And Bill Belichick's going to stop coaching at some point. It's going to happen. So I don't know. Yeah, it's cool to be able to appreciate it for what it is before it's all over. And so, I mean, that not to, that's not all that's going into this game, obviously. Obviously, the game should, if it's an awful game, it's an awful game. So, from that perspective, I understand where people don't want to watch it, but I think it'll still be fun. I think the Rams have a fun offense to watch still, and the Patriots, they're good.
Yeah. Their offense has been... they've been electric the last 2 weeks. Their last 2 games, I should say, with running the ball, being a power running team, and Tom Brady doing what he does. So, the old school, in that sense, I suppose both teams are kind of old school in the sense that both teams' offense start with the running game. We saw it. Well, you see it with the Patriots quite a bit. I mean, they rotate their backs quite frequently, and they all get touches. Rex Burkhead, Sony Michel, James White all kind of have a different role in that offense. But in the Rams, everything they do, their dynamic passing, and it's all predicated on that's all set up off play action and running the football with Todd Gurley, who maybe he'll play. Hopefully he'll play more. That'd be fun to see get more touches than the last 2 playoff games, and then CJ Anderson pounding the rock. I just have anytime anybody's name is CJ, I just have the CJ 2K just rolls off the tongue. But
not this one, not this time.
No.
Did you watch the Brett Coleman video on beating Tom Brady?
No, I have that in my YouTube queue.
Oh man, it's a good one.
Ooh. It's got the playbook or got
Not
the
really.
blueprint.
It's kind of a blueprint, but it's kind of also just like. This is just like abstract speculation. Like they're not. It's not totally that, but it's not quite step one. You break his ankles. It's like it's kind of like just like a variety of things that have kind of sequentially helped out. I don't know. If you haven't watched, I won't talk about it because I won't spoil it. But
I'll take a look at it. But how do you feel about this going into the Super Bowl matchup compared to previous years? I was thinking about this to myself a little bit. Am I excited for this? Is this game, on paper, do I get really excited for it? Regardless of whether the Patriots, with the Patriots being in it, compared to previous years, I'm thinking back to like last year. Was I real excited for the Patriots Eagles? I don't think so. That ended up being a really good game, a great game last year with the Nick Foles winning the game, which was completely unexpected. Or 2 years ago, where you had the big comeback with Falcons and Patriots again. But I'm in terms of how you felt going into prior to those games, so a couple days before, like we are now. What are your expectations for this game? Expecting a close game, obviously, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm expecting it's going to be interesting to see what happens either way this game goes. I think that's the coolest part, is that whoever wins, it's going to be interesting to analyze and talk about how they won and what the implications of that are. On one hand, you have Sean McVay, who would be the youngest coach to ever win a Super Bowl, and a coach that has essentially turned this franchise around in a complete 180. If anybody out there remembers what the Rams were doing only 2 seasons ago, they were going 4-12, finishing third in their division, just above the 49ers, who went 2-14. They fired Jeff Fisher and brought in Sean McVay. The next year, they turned it around, but they were booted out, surprisingly, in the first round of the playoffs. And they've come back, and now they have a Super Bowl berth. So if they win, it's going to be interesting to talk about. Everybody already is talking about now with the offseason coaching hires and the relationship that some of these coaches have with Sean McVay. But it'll be really interesting to talk about this because, I mean, I think it's being overshadowed quite a bit just because it's against the Patriots, and the dominance of the Patriots it's been talked about a ton once they beat the Chiefs. But it's going to be interesting if Sean McVay is able to pull this off because he's super young. He's as old as some of the players that are playing, and to have a coach that is that young and is able to dethrone somebody like the Patriots. Somebody that's been able to beat, Drew Brees, Sean Payton. That stuff isn't easy. So it'll be interesting to, talk about it from that side. But on the other side as well, we already talked about the Patriots and, what this franchise is. And Bill Belichick will be the oldest coach, I think, to win a Super Bowl if he wins. So... I'm excited in that respect. The game itself, like you said, I think it should be good because both these teams have pretty unpredictable offenses, and I think it calls for a good game. And both of them have defenses that are, I think that they're fun to watch. It's fun to watch the Rams now because their playmakers are back. People like Aqib Talib are playing. People like Marcus Peters, I think, are playing more in the position that they're supposed to be playing.
You're getting added production. Ndamukong Suh has really stepped it up in the playoffs. I guess I hadn't really followed the Rams all that closely during the regular season, but apparently, his production didn't match up with the I don't know what you would expect from Ndamukong Suh, given the reputation he has in the NFL. But that has been not the case in the playoffs, where he's been very productive, run stopping and rushing the passer.
Yeah, him and Dante Fowler have been great compliments to Aaron Donald. I think a lot of teams are double teaming Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald, and
led the NFL in sacks as an interior pass rusher.
Yeah, he's
that dude.
Good.
That dude is ridiculous. I think someone else has made the similar comment, but it's absolutely true. And I heard when you're watching him, and he just can shed blocks. I've never seen anybody shed blocks so effortlessly. It looks like he's just, I don't know, in line at the airport and just trying to cut someone in line. Yeah. It looks so. It looks when he puts on a swim move, it looks so effortless.
And it's crazy because those are some big dudes that he's just get off of me, little boy. Aaron Donald himself is a pretty big dude, but yeah, he's extremely athletic for his size.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it should be a good game. That's real deep analysis there. But the Super Bowl is one sporting event every year when it comes up. It generally lives up to the hype. It's usually at worst a decent game. I was trying to think over the last 10, 15 years that I've been watching the Super Bowl that I can have really good recollection of. How many of them that I thought were real stinkers of a game? I thought the Panthers. Was it Panthers-Broncos? That game, not the best. Peyton centered it off. That wasn't the most entertaining game. Or the other Broncos game, Broncos-Seahawks, that was just a blowout. Wasn't a lot of fun. But other than that, every other Super Bowl has been usually. The games are close, which obviously that makes it usually pretty good. But all sorts of crazy stuff has happened last year. I mean, there was a close game. And you had Nick Foles with the big upset. Year before, you had the 28-3 comeback. That's as good as it gets there. I can't remember what the year before was, but you get it.
The year before what?
Year before the 28-3 game.
Oh, the 2015 Super Bowl? Wasn't that Patriots?
I think was that Broncos.
Oh,
Broncos,
wait,
Panthers?
yeah. Broncos. Or wait, no, that was Patriots Seahawks. That was that. The
Oh,
one with the pick.
wait, is this the Patriots' fourth Super Bowl in a row? Fourth Super Bowl appearance?
Third. Right? Because they weren't in the
This year,
following.
last year, the year before was 28-3, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it is. 2015 season?
No. Broncos Panthers is definitely between was after. I gotta look it up. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Broncos Panthers was between the Malcolm Butler game and the 28-3 game,
Okay.
because that would have been Super Bowl 50.
Broncos Seahawks was 2014. The 2014 Super Bowl, 2013 season.
Yes. See,
Okay.
2016 for the 2015 season was Super Bowl 50. Broncos Panthers.
Yeah, okay. Okay. 2015 season. So 16, 17, 18. 3 in a row.
Yes.
Got it. Nailed it.
Hell yeah.
Analysis. Yo, what about the 2012 season? The Ravens 49ers. How about that?
That game, that was a great one. That came down to the last play. You had the power outage in the middle of the game. That was a good one.
I agree.
You had the year before would have been Packers Steelers, right?
No, that's the 2011 season was when they were really good, and then wasn't that
What was that? Oh, that was Patriots Giants 2.
yeah.
That was a good one.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, Super Bowl's usually pretty good. It's good stuff to watch.
Great stuff to watch.
Great American entertainment. What's your pick for the game? Give me a pick and a score.
I am gonna pick. I'm gonna do Rams 24-21.
24-21. I will do Patriots 35-31.
Okay. Okay.
So take it to the bank. Or don't. I don't care. Remember when we were a gambling podcast and we were really bad at it?
Yeah, dude.
I was
fuck
really bad at
gambling.
it.
Don't
Yeah.
gamble ever.
Yeah. All right. So here's some Super Bowl prop bets.
All right. You wanna just rattle these off?
Yeah, let's rattle them off here. What do you
Or
like here? We want to start real simple. Heads or tails? Coin toss.
Heads.
Heads. Fuck that. I'm taking tails.
All right.
Tails,
Cool.
Tails never fails. Okay, this one. Okay, a little more interesting. Super Bowl MVP. Your obvious choices are Tom Brady, Jared Goff. Those are the two favorites. Then we got Todd Gurley, Stoney Michel.
I'm gonna take Jared Goff because I think the Rams are gonna win.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing. I mean, you got to pick a guy. It's. I don't know if it's ever happened. It may or may not have ever happened that the non-winning team had the Super Bowl MVP.
Well, dude, everybody was screaming in 2016, the one against the 28-3 game, when James White didn't get the Super Bowl MVP because he just had a game.
Yeah, he had 15 catches and scored the game-winning touchdown, and he did everything in that game.
Yeah, and then Tom Brady won the MVP. So yeah, when that happens, I'm really if somebody can literally do that, I don't really have a lot of faith that.
You basically just got to pick the winning quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, some interesting ones. Some long shots here that are kind of interesting. If you you want to get real crazy here, so the last defensive MVP was Von Miller in Super Bowl 50. We have, where is he? Oh shoot, I just lost him. Oh, Aaron Donald plus 1,800. If anybody's gonna win as a defensive player, I would expect it to be him.
Yep.
In the unlikely event that happens, and then we just get down into really crazy stuff like Steven Gostowski. You think the kicker is gonna win the MVP? Probably
He
not.
just might.
But boy, if you think so, you're gonna be a rich man. What's the rule of thumb? If anybody gives you 10,000 to 1,
You take those odds.
yeah. So in that sense, you can take Chris Hogan, Kyle Van Noy, Marcus Peters, Corey Littleton, John Johnson, Trey Flowers, Michael Brockers, and a bunch of others. You can get them all for over 10,001 or better.
Wow, great.
Cool. This is a kind of a fun one. So Super Bowl MVP, who will he mention first in his speech? Teammates, God, family or family members, owner, city, coach, or none of the above?
Oh, man, that really depends on who it is, if it's Tom Brady or
Yeah.
Jared Goff. If it's Tom Brady, you got to say it's family, right?
That's my first thought, but also, I mean, teammates is the favorite there, which makes sense. But yeah, Tom Brady just strikes me as family.
Yeah. I'd say if it's Tom, I'd put money on family. If it's Jared Goff, teammates.
How many plays will Tony Romo correctly predict during the game? Under, over,
Dude.
7.5.
Under, over 7.5?
Oh, give me the over.
How many did he do last game?
I don't know, but it seemed like a lot. And
It did seem like a lot, but it also...
they were all Patriot plays too. The vast majority of them, at least, were on the Patriots, and bada bing, bada boom, we got the Patriots again.
Right. I don't know. If I knew the number from last game, I would. I don't know if it was 7. It was
probably
around.
right around
it
there.
was around there, but I mean, I guess that's why they set it at 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the over.
Yeah, over, man. Let's see. That's another fun one here. How many times will they mention Sean McVay's age? Yeah, whatever. Oh, here's a good classic one. How long will it take Gladys Knight, is that how you say it,
Yeah.
to sing the national anthem? Under, over, minute 47.
Again,
have
I had a sort of, some headspace here for what a relative normal time for that is.
Yeah, that's like one of those things where, like, at all the games, all the Packer games we've gone to, we did, take the temperature, and just have it like a baseline, because that minute 47 means nothing to me.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I guess over. Sure.
And in the same vein, will Gladys Knight forget or omit a word from the national anthem? Oh boy, if we would have picked that one game.
You got to think that, probably I would say no, just
Definitely
because
not.
there was already I don't know if it was anywhere else. I don't know if that gaffe showed up on national news at all from the Packer game.
I don't know. I don't think so. I know it was a local thing, but
It was just on that one guy's podcast.
yeah, whatever.
Probably not. You probably can't mess that up.
Yeah. Oh, here you might have some insight on this one. Total Donald Trump tweets on February 3rd. Under or over 6.
Under or over 6? Definitely over.
That seems low.
Dude, that guy tweets so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's when
politics completely aside from totally, I don't know how to apolitical opinion here. I was looking at his Twitter feed the other day, because I don't think before I started running the ISYE Twitter page, I really didn't do any business on Twitter at all. I didn't have a Twitter. I still don't have a personal Twitter. I looked at how frequently he tweets. He tweets a ton. Celebrities in general tweet a ton. They got shit to say, I suppose.
they're producing content, man.
Yeah. Apparently, but he tweets a ton.
Yeah.
Definitely over 6.
Oh yeah.
He had 7, and when I was checking at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, he had 7 tweets to rattle off before 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Apparently.
This is a good one. Oh, well, we'll start with this one first. This classic one. What color will be the liquid that is poured on the game-winning coach?
Oh my god!
So what flavor Gatorade?
Dude, give me yellow.
You want yellow?
Give me yellow.
That's the favorite at plus 225. Yeah, orange, blue, red, clear. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. This is a really interesting. I like these ones that are that are completely independent things, and if they happen. So what will happen to the price of Bitcoin during the Super Bowl? Prices
Dude,
higher or lower? Like
this
what?
is you, man. This is you, financial wizard.
This is fun. I don't know, man. I don't have a good feel. I've been watching Bitcoin for like 2 months now. I don't know what it's gonna do.
Yo, TurboTax is asking me if I traded cryptocurrency this year. That's like a thing that pops up. When I was preliminarily filing my well, no, it's not like it doesn't like it. It's just like the thing that pops up like in the main screen, like when you first start to file your taxes. Yeah. It's like, have you traded any cryptocurrency this year? And it's like, you know what? This is great that you have this, because before I had that conversation in the Packers loading dock about trading stocks and stuff, it's like I didn't even realize that you had to report, money earned on it. It makes sense, but I just never paid attention to it because I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah, the very little bit that I've looked into it, I think cryptocurrencies are probably, I'm sure they would be taxed. I'm not sure. I guess they would be taxed at the same capital gains tax, or the same capital gains tax would apply to them. I don't know, man. Same vein here. Which of the following 4 options will be the case on February 4th? So the Patriots win the Super Bowl, and the S&P 500 index closes higher. And then there's all the other alternatives. It's either higher or lower, and then the Rams win, or it's higher or lower. So,
double. Dude, I don't know. What? I'd say, I don't know. I guess that one, yeah. Patriots win, and it's higher.
Boy, yeah. Fingers crossed there. Oh, that's really silly. First song performed by Maroon 5 at halftime.
Dude, I hope it's the SpongeBob Bubble Bowl thing.
That is not an option.
What is? How about
you pick a Maroon 5 song. How about Moves Like Jagger? You like that one?
Is that the top one?
No, the One More Night. That's the one they've been playing in all the promo commercials.
Okay, yeah. Sure. I don't know very much new Maroon 5.
I recognize the song names of a couple of them.
Do they have She Will Be Loved on there?
She Will Be Loved is a long shot at plus 1,500 to be played
all
first.
Right. Yeah, it's probably not going to be played first.
Is Adam Levine going to wear a hat?
No.
Will Big Boy and Adam Levine perform Mick Jack at halftime?
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch. We could go and do this for a long time. But while we're talking about halftime, though, a kind of interesting thing here. I think you and I, much like a lot of other people, were kind of disappointed with the Super Bowl being in Atlanta that it was kind of a very lukewarm, very safe choice with having Adam Levine headline halftime, as opposed to getting somebody with a little more Atlanta flair to him. Albeit they have Big Boy, who's an Atlanta guy, right?
Yeah, he's one half of Outkast.
There it is. So if you just had to rattle off a couple people, who do you anticipate might have either next year and next few years, anybody you would expect or you would think would be likely candidates for future Super Bowl halftime performances? Anybody come to mind?
Just like in general?
Sure.
Not for like Florida?
Just in general. I don't know where it is next year.
It's in Florida.
Okay. So whatever.
Fuck.
I had a couple that I thought of. An obvious one seemed that would make a lot of sense would be Drake, right?
Yeah.
Drake would be one that, kind of maybe, I don't know, one that I thought would be slide in real nicely that would be out of The Weeknd. Yeah. That would be interesting, right?
I think he'd have to drop another album in between now and then.
But. Yeah, or maybe he doesn't have it as I don't know.
Travis got put on the Super Bowl gig, but he just like blew up after this last album dropped.
Yeah, he's not headlining. So it is kind of cool the last few years that they've been doing. Somebody headlines and they'll have a couple other people also in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was last year with Justin Timberlake, but
right. Yeah.
Or you get the college football national title game with Imagine Dragons and Lil Wayne.
Dude, that was
the world needs that.
Or I mean, so what was it? It was Coldplay and Beyonce and Bruno Mars one year. I'm pretty sure Coldplay was like one of the first names on there. They weren't like an addendum on that like lineup.
Yeah,
and like
Coldplay was the headliner.
Yeah, Coldplay was in like 1/8 of that halftime show. They were not the main spectacle.
Who was it with them?
Bruno Mars and Beyonce.
I thought Beyonce was Super Bowl 50. Wasn't Coldplay the outside? No, shit.
No, because they did the whole thing at the end where all three of them were coming.
Didn't Bruno Mars headline the outside Super Bowl in New York?
What? Didn't they? This was Super Bowl 50.
Yeah. What about who did 49 though?
I don't know. It wasn't them.
I thought that was solo. The Super Bowl 50 halftime was wait, you're right. It's Coldplay and then Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Yeah, I know I'm right.
I okay. Jesus Christ! I could have sworn that Bruno Mars was the headliner. Maybe that's probably I think what.
No, the one before that was the Katy Perry and the Sharks.
What? That was the one.
The Dancing Sharks was the one before.
I'm getting my ears screwed up here.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, yes, but I think to your point though about Coldplay was the headliner, but they're barely in it. Like, well, I thought Bruno Mars headlined it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he was the addendum on that one. It was supposed to be Beyonce, Coldplay, and then it was like, and also Bruno Mars.
Katy Perry, 48. Who was 48? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I'm not crazy here. Super Bowl 48 was headlined by Bruno Mars.
Okay.
So he did headline that one, and then 2 years later he was also an addendum.
Okay. I see.
That's what I was thinking of. Because I very distinctly remember the very first thing was like Bruno Mars playing the drums and.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Who else was in that? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's who was in.
That's who it was.
I remember now. All right. Well, anyway. Yeah, halftime show will be something. Who will be in the future? Is what you asked.
Yeah. Some favorites here. This isn't a gambling question.
Ariana Grande, maybe.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
She's got a new album coming out, I think. Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Chainsmokers.
I think the Chainsmokers are done.
Are they?
Yeah, dude. I think that their wave has gone on by.
That's probably okay.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
I listened to their most recent album. I don't know if it's new, like last week.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is kind of the same.
Yep.
So if you liked it the first time, you're gonna love it the second. Which, I don't know. There's a time and a place, but whatever.
Remember your Chainsmokers phase?
Man, I listened to that their album a lot. That came on. I was like listening to it, like, man, I feel like I'm in Memorial Library writing my EPD 397 paper. Takes me back, sitting in the cage, sitting in the stacks.
What a time.
Yeah, it was goofy. Any chance Meghan Trainor hosts a halftime?
Nah, her time is also up.
Okay, good. Who's the?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, The Weeknd's a good bet. Ariana Grande, I think, is a pop star on the rise. I mean, I would have said Travis Scott if he wasn't added to this one, but I'm trying to think of Drake is a good one.
Yeah, that would seem like the most obvious. at some point here.
I guess, I mean, there could be an unlimited number of like artists that like how the Red Hot Chili Peppers played. Like you could get an artist that, you know, is a classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what we could go for next year is a Blue Oyster Cult Super Bowl performance.
Where's the game next year? Tampa?
It's in
Miami.
Yeah.
Well, let's get
Dude, let's get Pitbull. Let's get Flo Rida.
Oh, dude, yeah, Mr. Worldwide. No, let's get Jesus Christ. Hold on, it'll come to me. Let's get Santana featuring Pitbull.
Oh my God, Santana featuring Rob Thomas, so we can play Smooth.
Yes. We'll just get Matchbox 20.
Like, oh my God, yeah, dude, people will go crazy for it. I'm not even lying. Like, people, it would be a great halftime show. I'm sure. You just play Smooth for like 10 minutes, and it would be great.
Throw a little Oye Como Va in there.
Open up with that probably. Lights come on. Spotlight on Santana. Playing the Wii Row. And then Rob Thomas on the timbale intro. Oh my God, I could be the main producer for this halftime show. Mm-hmm. I have all the ideas. I have all the staging already.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I think it's tough to say, honestly, because it's like a lot of things happen in the music world in a year, and it's tough to predict who's gonna trend or who's gonna be really popular by the time this time rolls around next year.
Or the opposite, who's gonna be. I hear what you're saying, but that almost doesn't even matter. Like, it's Maroon 5. Well, I guess they just had a song that came out or something, right?
That's true. I mean, you're right. You're right in what you're saying.
They're relatively. They're popular, but they're not. It's not like it's an up and comer that they like. Oh boy, this person's really on the rise and on top of the world right now. Like, that's not really what it is.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
But I don't know, it could be.
It'd be cooler if they did do location-specific artists that had ties to the area, but, fuck that.
Nah.
Okay, you have any more prop bets? Do you have any?
We'll just do one more here. This is a good one I saw. I found under over number of players to attempt a forward pass, 2.5. Give me
2.5.
Yeah, so Tom Brady and Jared Goff.
What the fuck is a half pass?
Well, no one's gonna throw half a pass, but it's either you get 2 or you get 3. So
I see.
You either win or you lose.
Okay.
So basically, Tom Brady and Jared Goff will throw passes. So those are 2, and you just need somebody else to attempt a pass.
Oh, dude, definitely over.
Hell yeah, that's exactly. Give me the over.
Julian Edelman was a quarterback in college.
Johnny Hecker's a quarterback.
Who else throws the ball?
You might, I don't know. You get Philly Special or whatever. Last year he had 4 at least that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm taking over on that for sure.
Or if one of the quarterbacks get hurt or something weird happens like that. That's no doubt.
Dude, what if is Brian Hoyer's the backup right now?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Give me Brian Hoyer and give me Sean.
That is how you ruin the Super Bowl. Tom Brady breaks his leg. Brian Hoyer has to come in. Who's the backup on the Rams?
Sean Mannion.
Oh, it is Sean Mannion. Oh my God, Super Bowl gets ugly real quick.
All of a sudden, that's Blake Bortles' Nick Foles last year doesn't sound so bad.
Wow, that's a good one. I mean, or I think it's a fairly obvious over.
But very easily could just not happen either. But I feel like with these two teams, I feel pretty good about it.
I just feel like I've watched Julian Edelman throw a bunch of passes this year, but that could just be me.
Mm-hmm. Or if let's think about it this way: if the Saints were in the game, would you feel any differently? If anything, I'd feel better.
I feel way better because there's Taysom Hill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude threw dimes last game.
Well, they were all called back for penalties, but
But what can you do?
them's the breaks.
Okay. All right. You got any more props to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's a ton more, but
Right. But we could talk about them all day, I guess.
we could talk about pluses and minuses till we're blue in the face. Oh, okay.
Right.
Which commercial will appear first, Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
This is right. This is pure gambling here. All these ones. How about Hyundai or Mercedes Benz?
I don't want to gamble on any of that.
All these similar products, or all these companies that are in the same, they make similar stuff.
Right. Okay, I got something for you, dude. I got something that does not have anything to do with prop bets.
Hit me.
All right. In the top 15 free agents of 2019, according to Pro Football Focus, so this is a totally arbitrary, but fairly qualified
Not
publication.
totally arbitrary.
It's not. It's okay. Yeah, sorry. It's not totally arbitrary. It is arbitrary though.
It's subjective.
Yes, it's subjective. It's a much better word. And anyway, in the top 15 of the free agents in 2019, how many players do you think are offense and defense?
I would say 10 defense, 5 offense.
There's 14 defensive players and 1 offensive player.
Oh, geez.
One offensive player is Le'Veon Bell, and he's at 12.
What? He's at 12?
He's at 12.
Who are the 11 ahead of him?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sam. At number 1, we have DeMarcus Lawrence, edge rusher from the Cowboys.
Well, okay. Is this based on the fact? Well, on the notion that the running back position isn't as highly valued.
I think it's based on the fact that PFF just wrote an article that said top 5 free agents that are about to be overpaid this year, and Le'Veon Bell is like number 3 on that list.
Okay, so they're taking into account anticipated financial hit or what the contract's going to be worth. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I think that they're absolutely considering that.
Okay. Go on.
So anyway, all right, we got DeMarcus Lawrence, number 1. He played on the franchise tag this year. He's turning 27. I mean, he's elite. He's in his prime. Somebody's going to pay some big kahunas for...
Did he play all year? Was he hurt at all?
I think he played all year.
Okay.
He didn't play much the year before, I think. That's what happened.
Okay. But in a good pass rusher.
Great pass rusher.
Yep.
Number 2, Earl Thomas, safety.
This one's interesting because he's coming off a broken ankle or whatever injury.
Broken leg.
Yeah. How old is he?
30.
Not ideal.
No, but he was still, I mean, what was interesting was that he remained, he hung with the top graded safeties for like 4 or 5 weeks after his injury.
Really?
Yeah, he remained in the like top 5.
Well, I mean, he's an interesting name, and obviously he has been a great player. So
he's undeniably not going to return to the Seahawks.
I think that was very obvious after he got hurt in Arizona.
Flipped off all the people.
Swag.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see what happens with him. Somebody will grab him. I mean, safety market's pretty dry, but he's a notable player, I think.
What do you mean by when you say the safety market is dry?
So right now the going rate for a quality safety is just not very high when you compare it to.
So you're talking about the market value, in terms of price to sign a safety.
Correct.
Okay. Because I
And
just want to make sure
so-
you weren't getting at saying that there wasn't talent from the team perspective in terms of acquiring talent. Because there's a bunch of good names that are going to be free agents that play safety.
Yeah, no doubt. I just think that there's a situation that sort of happens when the safety position is undervalued. It's pretty much what we saw last offseason. We saw Tyrann Mathieu sign for peanuts at Houston. We saw Trey Boston almost didn't find a home. These guys that are elite safeties, not finding homes, not finding jobs, and playing on prove-it deals almost all around the league. And they're valuable people and valuable assets, but for whatever reason, this position's being undervalued right now. Is what I mean.
Gotcha.
Moving on, we got Trey Flowers at number 3, edge rusher from the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's been pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
I don't know much about him either, but he's been a stud on the Patriots.
Now, if he's a pass rusher, he'll get paid.
Right.
Everybody needs another pass rusher.
Yep, and that's why next on the list we have Brandon Graham at number 4, edge rusher from the Eagles. He's turning 31. He's a little older.
Okay.
But a capable edge guy. Number 5, we have what?
Yeah, I might be speaking out of my ass, but I feel like at least my perception of an edge rusher can still be very productive later in their career, as opposed to how I feel about secondary players who I feel once they get old they just get slow and they're not good anymore.
Right.
The guys that come to mind like Dwight Freeney was around forever. It was just kind of like that
Julius
mercenary
Peppers.
Yeah, these guys that are just kind of. Dwight Freeney was always was interesting right at the end of his career because he was like signed mid-season and was like this pass rusher mercenary. You signed if you're on a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, like this guy that's been good and is now like 40 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get him basically do something similar to what the Rams did with C.J. Anderson this year. Sign him late and he's fresh. So,
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel as bad about signing a guy on the wrong side of 30 as a pass rusher. Feel a little more wary with a secondary player.
Absolutely, I agree. Number 5, we got Grady Jarrett though, defensive interior player.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about him. Apparently, he's pretty good.
had him on Madden Mobile.
Hell yeah. It's pretty good on Madden Mobile.
Well, you mentioned that earlier. That's like, oh man, I haven't played this year. It's like, man, that's how I actually like really kept up with, these not top tier guys in the NFL. All these kind of middlemen or average Joes in the NFL, guys that are decent players but aren't superstars that everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of like defensive tackles and stuff. It's like I don't know the defensive tackles for like the Bengals.
Geno Atkins,
I do actually. Carlos Dunlap, is he linebacker?
He's either an outside linebacker or a D end.
All right.
I think D end. But I mean, other than I know one guy.
Right. Like, yeah. So I'm sure he's a valuable asset. Number 6, though, we got Jadeveon Clowney, edge Texans.
Are they gonna let him walk?
Dude, I would hope not.
For whatever reason, I feel like of all these guys, like the Texans should definitely re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. I don't know why, but it just feels right.
Probably because like he's pretty good, and J.J. Watt can't live forever.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, just like
the
re-sign
two of
him.
them, those two dudes together, that's a pretty good one too.
They were pretty effective this year. Didn't really know how good J.J. Watt would be coming back from his slew of injuries, but he proved to be pretty capable still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Jadeveon Clowney. probably get re-signed by the Texans. So at number 7, we got Landon Collins,
That's
safety,
my guy.
New York Giants.
I want the Packers to get him.
That would be baller. I think it goes back. I mean, really, when I see Landon Collins too, I think about I don't remember what it was. It's something that I think you either told me or I watched in a video with you or something where somebody was saying, I don't remember if it was the Patriots or just another general manager who was saying that, you need to, you really need to use free agency to address the problems that you have in your team and then utilize the draft so that you can draft BPI or best player available. That's what I meant.
BPA,
yeah. And that's kind of just what I don't know why that philosophy comes up every time I see Landon Collins' name. Probably because Landon Collins is a really good safety, and the Packers are fucking awful at the safety position. But yeah, I agree. It'd be really cool to have somebody like Landon Collins on the Packers, just to have somebody who's a stud back there, somebody that would be a really good compliment, I think, to a youthful and budding cornerback core that's on the Packers right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be cool to have a guy who's a little bit more veteran, a little bit of a vet presence back there, but somebody who's like super capable.
Somebody who's a veteran, but not like a super veteran like Tramon Williams.
Yeah, he's not in the retirement
veteran.
home. Yeah, he's too senior.
Yeah, we had the guys are real young, and then we got this guy that's real old. We want the Goldilocks defensive back. Just right. Not too old, not too young.
We don't need another, 20-year-old back there, but we don't need a, 35-year-old back there.
We don't need Charles Woodson coming out of retirement.
No. It's not what we need. Number 8 is Frank Clark, edge rusher from Seattle.
Is he the guy that tried to fight that fan in Jacksonville last year, tried to climb in the stands? Is that somebody else?
I think that's somebody else.
You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, wasn't that Sheldon Richardson?
Oh, maybe.
I feel like that was him.
Okay.
Number 9.
It is decided it was him.
Yeah. We got D Ford.
D Ford.
Dude. Okay, after I was super happy actually seeing this offsides penalty happen, because him and Frank Clark, I kind of want the Packers, if they're not able to snag a safety in free agency, I want them to get an edge rusher, kind of.
Well, I'll take both. Either or.
I mean, yeah, both. Would be nice.
And Cole Beasley.
I think somebody said though that I don't know what did the Chiefs play 3-4 or 4-3?
I think they're a 4-3.
Okay.
Which is whatever. In the NFL now, it's everybody plays nickel more so than their base 3-4 or 4-3, but anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah, you're right. I don't remember if it was Frank Clark or D Ford. Somebody though was saying, I think it was D Ford, that somebody plays outside linebacker pretty well, or played it in college or something, and it'd be nice if the Packers had an outside linebacker that was,
good.
Fucking good. Yeah. The ghost of Clay Matthews bullshit.
Sure would be nice.
And then I don't know, at number 10 we got Ronald Darby, cornerback, Eagles. I'm not gonna go down this whole list, but
any other highlights?
I mean, Le'Veon Bell at number 12.
Where is he? It's like the Jets. That's where they're one of the teams, right, that are supposedly in the running for him.
Apparently, Le'Veon Bell wants to go to Miami.
Oh,
Isn't that something?
okay.
Who's
their coach? Oh, they're hiring
Brian Flores.
Not Tom Flores. Who's Tom Flores? He was old coach of the Raiders, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, Brian Flores. Jim, what's his name? What's his first name?
Brian Flores.
Jim Flores.
Brian. Okay. God damn you.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I don't know. Sure.
defensive coordinator / linebacker. He isn't the defensive coordinator, but he calls the defensive plays for the Patriots.
He's the coordinator.
Yeah.
If it looks like
Teddy
a coordinator-
Bridgewater,
Oh, Teddy. Theodore.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Ndamukong Suh.
Yes, him. He's gone he's gonna leave for sure.
I mean, you can't think that he stays,
I don't think the Rams can pay him.
right?
This is the whole, this is the plan all the way along, was just to sign him to a 1-year Super Bowl run, and by golly, they've done it.
Exactly. Do you have the list up right now?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, can you just talk about something real quick? I have to use the bathroom.
Yes. Well, Connor here takes a restroom break. I am going to find. We're gonna pivot here while we're talking about player acquisition. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at a mock draft. So the draft is only 4 months away now, as we're looking at it now. I'm sorry, it's only 3 months away. It's end of April. For some reason, I was thinking it was May. So NFL draft coming up with the Cardinals #1 overall pick rumored to be in the running for, not the running, but rumored to be having interest in Kyler Murray, which is really interesting given his height is only 5'9.5". So not a prototypical quarterback, but that has not really been an issue for guys like Russell Wilson or Drew Brees. So there's precedent for undersized players succeeding at that position. NFL draft mock. So,
Yep.
looking here at this mock draft, and this is way, way, way too early. Right now, the Cardinals, according to this NFL.com mock draft by Lance Zierlein, you have Josh Allen from Kentucky going #1 overall, edge rusher.
Why?
I don't know.
Isn't Nick Bosa the #1 guy?
Well, here, no, Nick Bosa's not even going 2. Rashawn Gary is going ahead of him.
What? Who is this mock draft?
I don't know, some guy from NFL.com. Nick Bosa 3.
All right.
Okay, and here we go. Kyler Murray 4 to the Raiders.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's see. Dwayne Haskins to the Jaguars. That doesn't really get me excited for old Jacksonville there.
Pass.
How about Drew Lock, Missouri quarterback, to the Broncos?
To the who? The Broncos?
The Broncos.
No.
How about, get excited at number 12, Green Bay Packers select Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle, Mississippi State.
See, the thing is about these, once I get past, man, even number 8 on this list, Montez Sweat, edge, Mississippi State.
He looked good at the Senior Bowl.
I don't know.
I had it on in the background the other day. I didn't really watch it, but I remember his name came up. Greedy Williams, that's a good name.
LSU, I know that guy. I remember some of these names actually from our first or second episode when we did a primer on college football.
Oh.
I remember.
I don't remember these.
I remember some of these names, but
you remember Jachai Polite?
No.
Edge rusher from Florida?
Nope. Do not.
What about Marquise Hollywood Brown?
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Not because of the thing, but
I watched Oklahoma in the playoff.
Yeah. And I follow Antonio Brown on Instagram.
Dexter Lawrence to the Eagles at 25.
Sure.
Ed Oliver. Ooh,
Dexter Lawrence is from Clemson. He's that Clemson guy that didn't play, right?
He did the drugs or whatever.
Right.
The Packers at number 30. Dalton Risner.
Offensive line.
Cool.
Great pick.
I mean, fine.
I'm not even going to argue.
Whatever. Sure. Who cares? This is stupid.
We need one of those guys. Yeah, I mean, so, okay, I think we talked about this in a previous episode, but mock drafts are just like it's one of the most pointless things you can look at. Like they're useful for knowing names, I guess. Like it's interesting because people will do some pretty good write-ups on some of these prospects, and you can really learn a lot about these guys, and that's helpful despite what order they're picked in, because when they're picked by a team, you kind of have some background information on their pick rather than just, oh, okay, well, the Bengals have selected this person, or the Raiders selected this offensive tackle from Texas.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to probably think about mock drafts, is to not look at not them trying to predict who's gonna go where. Well, I mean, that's kind of what they're doing, but take more value. Don't take a lot of stock in that, but take the little write-ups and the information you can glean about these players off of them. Because it's really interesting. Because I don't know, I don't watch a ton of college football, but I feel like I watch enough to know some guys. But then you look at these and it's like, oh god, I don't know anybody.
Yeah,
I know the quarterbacks and then a couple other guys.
Right. I mean, it's really hard because college football, there's a lot of teams and there's a lot of players. So, I mean, these mock drafts, it's what I use them for, at least, to get a feel for who these people are.
Who?
Yeah. Because I mean, to be honest, it's hard to follow that much college football. I don't even follow Wisconsin as well as I should. So, that's that. Anyway, a good example, though, I think, from last year was in the first round of the draft. I remember it was a pretty big deal that, especially with the second half of this draft, I feel, it didn't shake out the way that I particularly thought that it would. There were 3 running backs taken in the first round. It was Saquon Barkley at 2, and then Rashad Penny at 27, and Sony Michel at 31. I was completely convinced that Nick Chubb was going to be the better back, or the back taken before Sony Michel, just because of the way he was. He seemed to be the more the thunder as opposed to the lightning. I hate that metaphor, but it's kind of how it worked at
Dragons.
I don't know. It felt like somebody would take a fast, big bruiser back before they took the little, swiftier back, Sony Michel. But that's not what happened.
No. Boy, that Rashad Penny pick doesn't look real good, does it?
No, dude. I was surprised when they did it, because I remember Chris Carson was kind of a baller, and I had him in fantasy that year, and I knew he was kind of new, but then they picked Rashad Penny.
That's fine. Who's the guy that I think he's from LSU, the guy that the Redskins picked that got hurt?
Darius Geis.
Yeah.
Him too.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they have in him when he comes back. They still have. Are they going to keep Adrian Peterson?
Maybe. You gotta think that they'll probably evaluate it with Darius Geis. If Darius Geis is a stud, you probably don't want AP on your fucking team. Kind of like what happened when he was on the Saints for that hot minute. Just kind of get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. Yeah, it's just judging from the past couple drafts that I've watched. I mean, the one last year that I watched with you was, in particular, I mean, the closest that I think I paid attention to the draft up to that point. And, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't shake out the way that anybody thinks that it's going to shake out. Somebody is going to be right about something on the draft board, but nobody's going to be right about everything.
Yeah, it's like the NCAA tournament almost.
Yeah, exactly. You can't predict what trades are going to happen. You can't predict what's going to happen in free agency, before the draft happens.
You can't predict who's gonna get their Instagram hacked and someone's gonna share a video of them taking a gas mask bong hit.
That too. That was wild.
Did you ever watch that SB Nation 4-part thing about Mississippi and Mississippi State?
No, I didn't.
It's pretty good.
Is
And
that the one about Laramie Tunsil?
Laramie Tunsil's part of it, but it's more about all the NCAA recruiting violations that led to Hugh Freeze getting fired at Ole Miss.
Okay.
And all the shenanigans going on down there.
Whoopsies.
It's it's like a 4-part thing that SB Nation put out. I think over the summer. It's pretty good.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah. So draft will be fun. It'll be more fun, I think, once the Super Bowl ends and we get some more articles and news write-ups on some of these prospects.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now everybody's focused, obviously, on the Super Bowl happening on Sunday, but
yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we get next week after the Super Bowl.
What?
The Alliance of American Football starts up.
Does it really?
Yep, week after the Super Bowl.
Holy
on
shit.
CBS.
Can't wait.
Golly.
Who's the closest team to us?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think there's any near us, but I'm going to arbitrarily pick a team, and that'll be my team.
All right, cool. I'll pick a team too.
I'm going to do the Las Vegas Golden Knights method, where I'm just going to decide that they're my favorite team before they ever play.
Dude, I went to... All right. All right. I got them. I got them right here. You ready?
Yeah, rattle them off to me.
All right. I got the Arizona Hotshots.
Nice.
The Atlanta Legends.
Yep.
The Birmingham Iron.
Solid.
The Memphis Express.
Ooh.
The Orlando Apollos. The Salt Lake Stallions. The San Antonio Commanders. And the San Diego Fleet.
The San Diego Fleet. Wow, what a bunch of names.
Dude, I'm looking at their logos and
You're looking at their what?
I'm just looking at their logos, like on the AAF homepage. It just has all the teams and their logos. You got some good ones.
Yeah. So did you pick a team there?
No,
We are geographically closest to the Memphis Express.
Yeah. So man, I don't know. Sure, I'll go Memphis Express, I suppose. Actually, let me see who's on their fucking team. See if I can cheer
so
for
Memphis
them.
Express head coach is Mike Singletary.
Aw, damn it!
I will pass on that.
They got Zach Mettenberger at quarterback. Christian Hackenberg is on the roster. Dude, what the fuck?
Who's on this? I don't know. The San Diego Commanders jumping out at. I'm sorry, the San Antonio Commanders jumping off at me. Mike Riley, I don't know, maybe as a head coach. Who's on their roster? We have some people that play quarterback that I've never heard of.
Yep.
David Cobb. Ah, yes, David Cobb, running back.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Greg Ward Jr., former Houston quarterback. Yes. Okay, I don't like that roster.
All right, I'm going to the Orlando Apollos.
I'm looking. I just opened it up too. Steve Spurrier as head coach doesn't really excite me, but they have former Texas quarterback, or I'm sorry, Texas Tech, SMU. I don't know. Garrett
SMU.
Gilbert, Austin Appleby. They got a lot of alliterative guys with alliterative names in their quarterback room. I like it. Akeem Grant. Who is that? Who is you?
He's got a bunch of. All right, no, I'm not sold on these guys either. Salt Lake Stallions. Come on, baby.
Any ballers?
Staff Dennis Erickson.
Former Arizona State head coach.
Matt Linehan.
Is that related to Scott?
I don't know. That's the first thing that popped out. Oh, Matt Asiata is a running back.
Oh, yeah, I know him. Or how about Blake
Vikings.
Sims, a quarterback for the Birmingham Iron? Blake Sims, former Bama quarterback.
Oh. I wasn't sure how many names. All right, I'm checking out Atlanta.
Oh, Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
what?
plays for Birmingham.
He does?
Yes.
Dude, that's the team.
You want him? You got him.
No, I don't want him.
I will give you the Birmingham Iron.
Dude, no. All right, I've got Atlanta Legends. Do you know who the running back is?
Who's that?
Denard Robinson.
Oh, get out of here.
Dude.
Did you look at did you look at Arizona Hot Shots?
No, I didn't.
All right, let's see. Oh, they got Trevor Knight as their quarterback.
All right.
Yeah, that doesn't whatever. Josh Huff played for
He's
the Eagles.
definitely a guy.
Raheem Moore, he played for the Broncos.
Well, they got a bunch of stars on their game.
Nick
or on their
Folk,
team.
he's a kicker.
Wait, Nick Folk is on the team?
Yeah, Jeff Locke, the punter, played for the
No.
Vikings.
Yo, we can buy tickets for $20.
Josh Allen's on this team.
Wait,
Offensive lineman Josh Allen.
what? Oh,
A bunch of those guys. Did you look at the San Diego Fleet?
no, I didn't.
They got head coach Mike Martz. That's a guy. That's somebody. Oh, you know who I saw made a move in the NFL coaching world?
Who?
Or not NFL, but USC's new offensive coordinator. Did you see who it was?
No.
It's former Packers legend Graham Harrell.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's something. That's
He
weird.
I think he was previously. What was he doing before? He was like I don't know if he was a coordinator or. He was working for Mike Leach at Washington State, which makes
Okay.
sense because he was a quarterback for him at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But he was so he was the North Texas offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for the last couple of years.
Okay.
And he was wide receivers coach at Washington Washington State before that. So
Graham Harrell, man.
Graham Harrell was my guy. I remember while I'm watching him when he was in college playing for Texas Tech and be like, oh, this is going to be Texas Tech's year. They beat number 1 Texas in 2006. I was so excited when the Packers signed him to be their backup quarterback for a little bit, and he was not very good. Now he's making moves. Man, the last guy that held that job, that offensive coordinator job, was an NFL head coach within a couple days.
So bing bang boom. That's how you make moves.
Yep.
That's the launching pad of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dude. Did you look at the San Diego Fleet roster?
Yes, this is not good.
Dude, Bishop Sankey.
Where?
He's a running
Wait, which
back.
one?
San
For who?
Diego Fleet. San Diego Fleet.
The fuck he is?
He is number 20. Running back.
He's not. Are you on Wikipedia?
No, dude, San Diego Fleet roster.
I'm looking on Wikipedia. Maybe that's why.
I'm on the website.
Well, you can't trust everything you see online.
That's for yeah, you got a point.
We'll have our ethics and journalism next week, and we'll discuss.
Yeah, tune in next week for a riveting episode on the morality and ethics of sports journalism.
Man, I was poking around looking for new podcasts last night while I was playing some Madden, and I listened. You know who Gary Vee is?
No,
You ever heard
who's
of him?
that?
He's some entrepreneur guy. I think he does marketing something or other, but the dude is like the most electric guy ever. It's insane. Like you listen to him like talk about anything, and it's like, oh, I would run through a brick wall for this guy. But anyways, he has this podcast, but like it's really weird because it's like not formatted at all. Every single episode that I looked at was different. One was like 5 minutes long, the other one was like 7 hours.
This guy just talks for as long as he wants to talk.
Yeah, or like one of them was just like him giving a keynote speech at some convention for like 20 minutes. So
Okay.
then
So it varies.
Yeah, it's just him. Is like, hey, I recorded something. I spoke into a microphone, and the context is whatever. But anyways, one I listened to was like he's like on the phone. He called into his own show, and then like he has two other people. There is two marketing execs from like one from Frito-Lay and the other one from like PepsiCo. They're talking about Super Bowl ads or something. So I was like, man, I'm like, everybody's just on the phone. So it's like I'm on a fucking conference. I'm listening in on a conference call about ad marketing. Like, what? Is this
interesting?
Cool? Is this? I don't. It was kind of.
This sounds like professional development.
Yeah. Is this a billable hour? Am I working right now?
Yo, speaking of billable hours, I guess, and work training and that kind of stuff, I was just watching Trigger Warning with Killer Mike on Netflix.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's. I mean, Killer Mike is like he's a really good public speaker. I really enjoy just listening to him talk because he has a really warm and rich voice, and he's very well spoken. Mm-hmm. So I just enjoy hearing him talk about things, and so he does talk about a lot of interesting stuff. He's pretty radical with his ideas, but he's still interesting and fun to like hear things from. Like on his first episode, the whole premise was that he was trying to only spend money in the black community and in the black economy. So he was trying to make a point to only buy black things and do, activities that would involve products produced by African Americans.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer for the show, and wasn't that the one where he's like in the strip club and he's like,
yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, you're Asian, and I need a African American woman over by me. His relationship, he has like a wife and everything, and he just like does this shit though. Anyway, not important. Yeah. And this episode though, he was talking about education, and he was like, you know what? Kids are just not being taught proper expectations for the workforce. Like, we have a severe need for people that are like tradesmen and artisans and people that are willing to go to trade school, but nobody wants to do it because we all grow up thinking that we're going to be astronauts and the president. And he's like, that's wrong. That's not how you should teach kids. And he tried to like pitch this to a school, and they're like, nah, fuck you. And so he was like, whatever, maybe I can make something for adults then. Like, maybe they're right. Maybe that's not how you teach kids. You don't teach them to like crush their dreams. You just like, you got to teach people that are out of work when they're older. And so he got like a focus group together of people, and he was like, yo, do any of you know how to do any number of these things? And it was just like a giant numerated list of like, do you know how to like build a cabinet? Do you know how to like, would you be a capable plumber? Like, would you be able to fix like a drain if it was clogged? Would you be able to fix a lamp if it's broken? Would you be able to change like a wall socket? Like all these just like things, like how comfortable would you feel doing this on a scale of 1 to 10? And pretty much everybody was like just like not capable of doing anything on the list. And so he was like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I know that people are unemployed like crazy all over this country, but in this day and age, like everybody has like a computer, so everybody's like just sitting on their computer being unemployed. Like that's what unemployment is now. It's, you can just like sit on your computer in your house and do nothing all day. And so he was like, I need a way to be able to get my message to people that vocational training is available and there are people willing to teach it to them. But how do I do that? And he was like, you know what? I'm going to use porn.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, right, exactly. And I was like, how? And he was like, listen, people watch porn at a rate that is much higher than any of the top 3 streaming services, Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix. In fact, the number of people that watch porn in any given minute of any single day is higher than all 3 of those streaming services combined for any given minute of a day. They have more streams than all 3 of those services combined in every single minute of every single day. Which is, I mean, I believe it. And so he's like, well, listen, I'm going to use this to like get people trained. And so he did a bunch of research and like talked to like cam girls and like people that are trained in, I don't know, like making porn, I guess. And then he talked to these guys that were trained in teaching people vocational skills like carpentry and plumbing. And he combined the two and he like made these informative films. And it was like, I mean, it was really weird watching them because they didn't show like the whole thing. They showed quite a bit though. They showed more than I thought they would show. But like, I mean, he had these focus group people though take the same test, or it wasn't the same test. It was a different exam where they like asked you questions, and I think he gave them the same exam in conjunction with the previous quiz where he asked them how comfortable they were with these skills, and then like a fill in the blank sort of test for like, you know, what would you do with this situation, or, you know, do you know how to use this, or blah blah blah. Give them the same test anyway. And on average, I think these people improved their score by like 80%. And so it's tough to say if they would have improved by 80% by just watching a regular informative video or if like this helped. But in any case, it was interesting, and it was obviously this is unconventional, and I don't know if there are any real statistics to back up the efficacy of this, but it was interesting.
Huh. Yeah, that's a creative solution.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. It's like, this is creative. But like, man, I don't like, I was watching it and like, I think like Eric walked in and it was like, just like, man, this just like looks like I'm watching porn on my TV folding my clothes.
Hell yeah.
Like, this is
What's up, man?
Just have the door open, just no, man, this is a show.
Oh, how did that get there? Oh, there's something wrong with my TV, man.
That's weird. It must be a computer glitch.
Gonna have to call Do It.
Yeah. Anywho. All right. Is that where you want to end it? You have anything else to talk about?
I don't know. You want to put the links for the full porns in put the links in the description below.
Yeah, I'll try to link them below. Link some source material here for everybody else.
So that's our gift to you as our listeners. We're gonna give you the gift of education.
You're welcome.
Learn yourself a skill.
Learn some trade skills.
You know, other YouTube channels are sponsored by other online education formats or platforms like Skillshare, or the Skillshare is the one I know. Well, we're giving you killer mics, porn, education,
vocational skills, and
there it is.
Plus some. Yep, check it out in the description box.
Have a happy Super Bowl.
Have a happy Super Bowl. Hope your team wins. We'll see you next week.
Bye.